How are we, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I nearly started late. This game is right about to start. MCG, the two big rivals, Carlton v Collingwood. Here we go. This game always means a little bit more when it meets up on the football calendar, and Collingwood get the first clearance through there. Game's record holder, it's Scotty Pendlebury. Long towards, half forward. Sullivan couldn't take the mark. Akers got back well. Wiedering snapping it across his body, bouncing ball down the wing. Seen out by Maynard and Fogarty. So Scotty Pendlebury winning the opening clearance. Great to see him out there, of course. Seems inevitable at this stage that he will be breaking the game's record-holding award for the AFL very soon. Cameron from the ruck couldn't win the ball. Cripps socketed off the turf, dribbling down the wing in front of the members. De Koning picks up the footy. Quick handball on the up was good to Akers. Inside handball, Doherty. Little chiseler over the top to Williams. He holds up for the moment. Plays on now. Low dart inside the forward 50 to the man who needs to be big tonight in Charlie Curnow. Great start here from the Blues. Great entry. And hopefully, for the Blues' sake, Curnow can go back and kick truly. So missed a couple early last week against Port Adelaide. In fact, kicked 4 behinds in the last 2 games. Needs to kick truly tonight. He comes in, leaves it out to the left. It's trying to work its way back, but it's just a little bit wide. So first score of the evening goes to the Blues. So Josh Dacos takes the kick in, goes towards the wing. Good mark from Myercheck, got the hands up. So right in front of the MCC members. He's got Maynard riding shotgun, decides to just chisel one in short to long. What a revelation this guy's been in Pies colours. Doesn't have a lot to go to here long, so decides to just pump a high ball. Looking for a Membry maybe. Couldn't get there. Pidnet slaps it down to the ground. Williams, 1-2, got it knocked away from him. Hewitt just missed the footy. Cameron, handball on the up to Sullivan, did it well. Now inside, 50 from Ron Steele. Couldn't get hit, couldn't mark that one there, Elliott. Probably should have done better. Snapping ball outside the D50. Williams was there. Probably got a high one. Play on, says the umpire. Hewitt, wrapped up by 2 Pies, Maynard being one of them. Will always put in a bone-crunching tackle when he can. There's a good kick there from Ron Steele in his first game for the club. Elliott absolutely dropped a spud. Cameron tried to take it out of the ruck. Pidnet is there. Ball spills out. Hollands couldn't get it out. And the Blues just hold it up for the moment. So a big match up tonight. Looks like George Stewart has the job on Nick Dacos. Walking with him everywhere he goes. Cameron with the tap straight down to Cripps. Bit of a check side kick down the wing. It rolls and it trickles. And the umpire's paid insufficient intent for some reason. That's a shit decision by the umpire, but anyway. So Maynard directing traffic in front of him. Blasted into the pocket. Looking for Myercheck. Well done to bring it to the ground. Cowan, but it's not out of danger. Membry to the top of the goal square. Overrun it was McGovern. Hoskin Elliott to Long. Back to Hoskin Elliott. Looking for a handball option. Dacos smothered. Ball trickles towards the pocket. Cameron. Somehow Dacos is still going. Elliott was out of bounds. And pushed over just to make it a certainty there was a Blake Akers. Got lucky there, the Blues. A couple of... Mitch McGovern just ran straight over the footy there. Was very lucky not to be paid full price. So, forward stoppage here for Collingwood. Membry with the tap. Doherty up against Pendlebury in the tackle. 2 veterans up against each other there at stoppage. So, George Stewart is not leaving sight of Nick Dacos tonight. Membry taps it down. Steele. Early touch for him. Lipinski. A little bit of a grubber. Should have marked that one in the end, Hoskin Elliott. McGovern did pretty well to worry him out of it. Now Long, wrapped up by Lord. Well, a couple of early touches for the debutant for the Pies in Ron Steele. Obviously a mid-season draftee. What a great couple of months he's been having. Pendlebury, quick little handball over the top. Just read the play in front of him. Hoskin Elliott let the ball go. And back into contest. The ball is balled up. About 25 out from the Pies' goal. Type down from Mychek this time. Pendlebury tapped it out. Lipinski got a kick away to the top of the goal square. Blues have numbers. Ball goes between them. Has it gone all the way? I think it was touched. Well, two Blues players were there. Surely one of them touched it. I think it's flicked the shoulder of a Carlton defender. The soft call is touched. It has nicked the arm of a Carlton defender. Don't think it's Wiedering, but my God, that would have been an embarrassing mistake if that went through. It's O'Farrell, I think, who's touched it. The soft call was touched, so I think it should be okay. But my God, that would have been a huge blunder. It's brushed O'Farrell's arm, but it's very lucky. I don't think you do, umpire, to be honest with you, but anyway. Well, luckily for the Blues, it's a touch rush behind. It's a touch behind. Got a bit lucky, definitely. God, I can barely fucking see. So McGovern now will kick outside the D50. Goes a little bit more corridor with the kick. Fogarty got up. Maynard did want to worry him out of it. Kicked it forward. Good mark down low from Mychek. Plays on immediately. Kick lateral ball across the 50. It's a great option. Hoskin Elliott takes the grab. So Hoskin Elliott, an opportunity here to kick the first goal of Friday night. Grew up a Collingwood fan. He would have dreamed of kicking goals against the Blues. And he kicks the first goal of the night. So Collingwood kicked the opener. So Collingwood with the opening goal. Looking the goods early. Pidnett in the ruck here up against Darcy Cameron. Wasn't a great bounce in the end, but Mitchell gets the clearance. First touch for him in 460 days. Long kick inside the forward 50. Ball spills to Steele. Oh, he just fumbled at the crucial stage. Elliott off the ground. Oh, he's a star, Jamie Elliott. What a year he is having. The opportunistic goal from the opportunistic forward. Ominous signs early here for Carlton. Well, Rowan Steele with a little touch on that footy. He got a bit of cult figure about him already. Well, clearance from Tom Mitchell. Rowan Steele gets a little tap there. The two of the inclusions this week involved in the goal. So back in the middle we go. Chera gets the handball away. Cripps forward to Pidnett. Back to Cripps. He just has to tread water momentarily. He cuts back, then goes long. High ball, and Darcy Moore had his name written all over it. Just a brick wall back there, the Pies. Short ball, Nick Dacos takes the grab. Going to be a tough job for George Hewitt tonight to shut down the little master. So he goes up the wing. One-on-one. Going across was Haynes. Dropped the mark. Mitchell, handball forward on the bounce. Hoskin Elliott just had to jam it on the boot in haste. Turned it over. Wiedering to McGovern. Low darting ball was nice. Hits up his captain. Cripps wants to wheel and go. It's a low ball inside the forward 50. Gets out the back for Motlop. Maynard wasn't letting him away. Did well there, Collingwood, with the rush defence. So back in the ruck, Cameron took it out of the ruck, let it go. Dacos gives it to Markov, shrugs the tackle. Cool, calm and composed. Long kick up the wing again. McGovern had hands on it. Should have taken the mark. O'Donnell. Handball forward. Evans. Doherty through to Hollands. A little bit scrappy, but they work it out okay. Haynes to the top of the goal square. Kerno is there. Pushed out a bit easily. Moore. Handball went to ground. Cameron just got rid of it in time. Houston over the top to Markov. He clears it out the danger area for the moment. On the bounce. Great pick up from Doherty. Hollands gives it out. Akers went to kick, realised he had a handball option in his captain. Tucked up in the pocket, kicks it to the top of the goal square. Fantasia should have marked it. Bouncing ball to Perryman, clearing it for the moment. McGovern went up, couldn't take the grab. Cripps up against Markov at half forward. McGovern did well, sold the ball for the moment. Akers jams it back in the danger area. Fogarty with the tap on it. Josh Dacos gets the handball away. Cripps got a bad bounce. In fact, it's Cripps did well. Pendlebury and Collingwood just clear with ease again. And here's the debutant, Steele, running down the MCG wing. Long ball towards half forward, but did well Wiedering. Bit of frenetic football in the last few moments. So now Wiedering looks to go with a bit of a switch kick. Back to Nick Haynes, who wants to set it up. Trying to get a bit of run in the game here. Ollie Hollands at centre half back. Goes out wide with the kick to Motlop. There's a bit of chance here for Carlton. They've got a little bit of overlap. Akers runs back over his mark. Kicking towards half forward for Kerno. Probably too far out to score, but he wants to wheel. He wants to kick and miss again. 0 goal 6 from his last 3 weeks of footy. So now Josh Dacos to take the kick in here. Long ball towards Steele. Again, he's been everywhere so far. Handball over the top. Missed his target and Sullivan. Hewitt did well to Koning. Feigned the give. A little bit of high ball. Wasn't great for Hollands. McStay got rid of it just in time. To Koning. Overran it a bit. Mitchell back to Cameron. Pendlebury. Just a class above here, the Pies at the moment. Perryman. Kick inboard wasn't great. Turns it over to Haynes. So they want to go here, Carlton. Frenetic football seems the way at the moment. Lord jams it inside. Just a little bit too much on it for Fogarty. Hewitt ran through it, played for the free kick, didn't get it. Evans held up a moment. And a ball up. So Carlton getting a little bit of territory in this opening term. Just haven't been able to kick a meaningful goal yet. So from the tap down, Williams is there trying to find a little bit of space. He does! He kicks high and it goes through. That's what the Blues needed to get things started. Well done there, Zach Williams. Great rove at stoppage. Great snap on goal. And that's what the Blues needed to get things rolling. I just realised the ladder looks a little bit different, but I don't think it's messed up any of their teams in this game. I will fix that up actually in a minute. It hasn't messed up anyone who's playing today, but yeah. So a good finish there for Carlton. They get their first goal of the night. Desperately needed to get things going. De Koning's in the ruck now, up against McStay. De Koning with the tap. Dumbing through there was Moyer in with the clearance. He gets it out to Cher, who blasts it long for Kerno again. He looks dangerous. Couldn't take that one. Hollands. Handball nice to Lord. He cuts his kick for the moment. Moyer going back. Did well there, Markov. Brought it to the ground and Pendlebury. Bouncing outside the D50. Wasn't a great kick, to be honest. And then Cowan tracking it. He gets there first. Got a bit of an unlucky bounce, but he worked back onto it. Kick towards centre half forward. Going back with the flight was Mitchell. Handball to Moore. Over the top to Perryman. Hewitt worried him out of it. Quick to his feet, looking for a high. Got the handball away. Play on. Lipinski handballed out. Chera somehow dug it out. Cowan, Lord. Forward, only just to Curnow. He went to play on too quickly. Ball was smothered. Fogarty over the top to Curnow. He's got options aplenty. Just has to pick one, and he did. Williams should get the free. Surely Zach Williams gets the free kick. Curnow didn't want to go for goal there. I think it was the right option to go for Zach Williams in the pocket. And he was marking interference there against Markov. Wasn't looking at the footy. Had to be a free. And now Zach Williams a chance here for his second. Well, they can take the lead here, Carlton. They were dominated early, but they've had a few good moments in the last 5 minutes. And Zach Williams looking the man with a bit of a chance to have a blinded tonight. He snaps it truly. He's got the opening 2 goals for Carlton. So a good start here for Carlton after a tentative opening few minutes. Ah, fuck you. So Zach Williams has kicked 2 goals now. He's starting in the middle of the ground tonight, trying to have a little bit of spark through there. Don't mind the option. DeConing with the tap. Williams the man again. Mitchell riding him. Did well enough with the pressure. And McStay snapping it towards half forward. Cowan did okay. Ball to the ground. Sullivan worried out of it. O'Donnell. Oh, he's under all sorts of pressure. You had to know there was someone on him. And Membry gets the free kick. So Tim Membry kicked 20 goals so far this year in his new colours. Been a bit of a journeyman in his time. Was at the Saints for so long, but now he's a pie and kicking big goals at the MCG. Good finish. Pie's back in front. There we go. The ladder's finished. Fixed up now. So we're back in the mill. 5 points the difference. Cameron with a little bit of a tap onto it. Koning was held without it, and he'll get the free kick. So to Koning. Playing as like a second ruck tonight. Short ball to Chera. He wants to give. Doherty running shotgun. He blasts it long. Looking for a one-on-one. Moyer was there. Couldn't get there in the end because Howe was all written all over it. Got the ball to the turf and seen out of bounds by Crisp and Curnow. So we've ticked into 9 minutes to go on the opening term. Collingwood kicked the first 2. Carlton responded with their 2. Collingwood kicked the last. Free kick at the ruck. It's going to be going to no one. It's going to be recalled for a throw-in. So back in the ruck again. Cameron with the tap. Hewitt pushed away from it by Crisp. Looking for a handball, just goes underground. Looking for someone to run onto it. Looks like Ned Long's going to get the free kick for a hold. So Ned Long at half back. Looking through the corridor, decides to just come a little bit more on the outside of the centre square. Brought it to the ground was O'Donnell. Mitchell somehow shoveled it out to Pendlebury. Sullivan has Perryman, who just wants to go long with the kick. He's looking for Hoskin Elliott. Dacos was there. Spoiled by Haynes. Markov sees it out. So Nick Dacos looks like he's drifted forward for the moment. Nick Haynes was the one who's on him when he's gone forward. Don't mind that match up there for Collingwood, to be honest. Don't see Nick Dacos taking too many marks. So ball hits the ground. It'll be an interesting matchup. Taccone takes it out of the ruck. Cripps got rid of it just in time. Hits the side of his boot. And Markov just sees it out of bounds. It's Cripps at the moment grabs at his eye. May have got a little poke in there. Oh, he did get him high. He did get him with the eye. Little poke in the eye there. Take him a moment to recompose himself. So Cameron takes it out of the right. Quickly jammed it on the boot forward. Dacos in front. Nick Dacos. That probably would have been his second contested mark of his career there. So a good mark there from Nick Dacos up forward, but now the all-important thing is to kick the goal. 45-degree angle, little kick from just inside 50. It comes in. It's holding that left goal post, and it doesn't move from it. So Kerner has the footy, just goes in short to Hollins. Looking corridor. They have an opportunity here, the Blues. A little bit of overlap. Chera to Doherty. Hewitt shook the hips. Tried to give it back to Doherty. Handball wasn't great though. Houston on the ground with Zach Williams, and it's a ball up. Just a mistake there from Carlton. Couldn't get the ball forward. So just in a marking contest there, Nick Dacos got a massive knee from Haynes in his back. So Pendlebury holds up. Hewitt be another ball up. So Dacos just trying to stretch out that back. It's probably just a knee to the back never really feels nice. Pidnet with the tap. Chera held up. And another stoppage. So just under 7 minutes to go on this opening term. Tap down. Chera again, this time with the clearance, dribbling towards the 50. De Koning did well to grab it nicely. And the Hewitt, little floater. Has it gone 15? It has. So Motlop takes the mark. And Carlton need to take their opportunities tonight if they're any chance of an upset. And they've started well. Great pick up here from De Koning. Quick little give. And then Hewitt. Wasn't anything fancy in the kick, just had to hit the target. And it did. So Jesse Motlop hasn't been the most accurate kick this year. He is the future of the small forward brigade in this team here for the Blues. Needs to go back and kick truly now. Straight in front. Great looking kick. And the Blues draw level. Don't mind the celebration there from Jesse Motlop. This is going to be their game tonight, Carlton. Play for and stoppage, get the ball forward. Bit of frenetic stuff, bit of chaos. Maybe their way to glory tonight. I don't know what that celebration was, but I don't mind it. Cameron with the tap again. Chera was held without it. Long, burrowing in and under, trying to go forward. And it'll be a ball up again. So Josh Giddey in the crowd, just for anyone wondering. A lot of celebrities there tonight, you would say. Hewitt, ball up again. So Dacos back in the ruck. Back in the middle, sorry. Cameron down to Dacos. Handball over the top to his brother and Josh. High ball inside the forward 50. Elliott is there. Had hands on it. McStay at the back. The tall man becomes Rover and dribbles it through. Not good enough there from Carlton, and Collingwood will always make you pay full price. Simply not good enough there from Carlton. Two defenders go up here for the one Collingwood player. McStay just comes out the back. No representation on the ground. Easy as you like goal for Collingwood. So from the tap down, Pidnet was there, couldn't win it. Sock it off the ground, ricochets off of Chera. Doherty. Chera goes back, handball over the top. They have a bit of run here. Hewitt went to the ground at the crucial stage. Did well to get up and handball. Pidnet to Carroll. Swings it out wide. Good looking ball. Fantasia takes the mark. He wants to go. Short ball Doherty being used a lot in the opening term. He's looking for a right option. Jams it inside. Low darting ball for Williams. Ball gets out the back. DeConing was there more. Did well. Cameron on the up. Quainer handballed it away. Cripps is there. Quick little give. Step past one. The kick inside to Hollands. Couldn't mark it under pressure. Williams, he's been good this quarter. Top of the goal square with the kick. Lord should have marked it. Howe handballed it away to Sullivan. And Collingwood can repel again. So Myershek at half back. Ball over the top was nice. To Lipinski. He wants to go. No stopping here for Collingwood. Just full force forward. Elliott had the mark. It's been paid. McGovern did everything he could, just couldn't win it in the air. So now Jamie Elliott, just outside the forward 50. McGovern actually did that pretty well then, because he held him up just for a moment so he couldn't play on. So now Jamie Elliott, looks like he's going to set it up to the top of the goal square. 3-on-1 in Carlton's favour. Membry did everything he could, but Carroll out the back has time to kick it away. Towards the 2-on-1, Moyer has to go. Maynard took the footy. Steele gives it off to Perryman. Up the chimney. He says, someone fly. Carroll went up. Spoiled. Whistle blown. Going Collingwood's way. And it's going to be going to Markov. I think the free kick's against Chera. Trying to... Yeah... No need to grab on there. It was pretty weak, I'll be honest, but yeah, not a lot in it, but he didn't have to grab it all. So Oleg Markov. Premiership player in 2023. Didn't get much of an opportunity last year. Been in and out in 2025. He comes in, not a great looking kick, and he'll go to the right. And some Carlton fans will say, the footy gods are here tonight. So McGovern with a short ball to Doherty. So he's had a few early touches. Sam Doherty was dropped earlier in the year. Back in the team now. Long kick up the wing. Great mark. Is that Pitternet? It was. No, it was Weeder, and good grab. He gives it on the up to Haynes. They want to go with run and dash here, the Blues. Little bit of overlap. Moyer. Great gather on the turf. Short... Chiseling ball up the wing. Curnow wants to wheel and go. Centre half forward all on his own is Blake Acres. He wants to play on Acres. He wheels around. It's a nice looking kick. And Lord. Don't know about the kick, to be honest, from Acres to Lord. It's not like his angle is any easier. But they're doing well here, Carlton. Their movement from deep 50 to forward 50 is good. They have their chances tonight. So Cooper Lord. Oh, he went to go kick it. Decides now to handball it off to McGovern, who drives it long. It'll go to the line. It's still in, and it rolls through. McGovern couldn't even make the distance from there. It was a long kick, but didn't have enough on it. So Josh Dacos into the back pocket for Maynard. So in the latter stages of the opening term, the Pies led it by a goal. Kicks it high up the wing again. Went up early, was O'Donnell out the back, Myercheck. He wants to wheel and go, looking for the one-on-one. Did well there, Elliott to bring it to the ground. Sullivan was there, tapped out of bounds. Right in front of the Carlton interchange gate. So back in the ruck we go again. Cameron with the tap. Taken by Lord. Quick little handball. Hewitt to Doherty again. Probably the most touches on the ground in the opening term. Just swings it on the boot. Fogarty was there. Had a hand on it. Probably should have done better. Dacos. Maynard. Crisp. Up the wing he goes. To the one-on-one. It gets out the back. Did well there, O'Donnell. And now cleared by Wittering. Didn't really look. Just bombed it long. Great mark from Darcy Cameron. He's been so good at that this year. The intercept marking. So we just ticked under a minute to play in the opening term. Will Collingwood go one more time? Just going to go high and long in hope. Myercheck is there. In front was Pitternet though. So he takes the mark against his opposing ruckman. So he gives it off behind him. Now blasting a long ball for De Koning and Curnow. Great grab. So maybe a late chance here for the Blues to strike. Curnow wants to go. Pumps it towards Moyer in a one-on-one, but too easily pushed aside by Quaynor. He's looking to go a corridor. Doesn't have any options though, Quaynor. So just goes with a lateral ball wide to halfback for Perryman. 14 seconds. Will they go here, Collingwood? Got an option on the inside. Decides to blast it longer than that. Going long for Elliott. He went up. Went up a bit early. Didn't really cause a contest. Pidnet gives it over to Akers. Low balls, pushes he kicked on the bounce. Fogarty taps it on, but blowing is the quarter time siren. Carlton did a lot right in the opening term, but every single time Collingwood went forward, they scored, and they lead it at the first break by a goal. Collingwood 4-3-27 lead the Blues 3-3-21. Alrighty, let's have a look at the statistics, eh? Oh, by the way, I didn't even say who the subs. What are other subs? It's Will Parker for Collingwood, and it is Flynn Young for the Blues. Yeah, that's right. There weren't any late changes, were there? Don't think there was. No, there wasn't. By the way, for anyone wondering about the West Coast v GWS game, I don't think anyone cares, but I don't even think West Coast GWS fans care about this game very often, to be honest. Harvey Thomas and Malachi Champion is the subs. Great name, Malachi Champion, by the way. Great name. Let's have a look at the statistics of this first quarter, though. So looking at the opening term, we have Charlie Curnow leading all comers on the AFL fantasy front with the 41. Disposals-wise, we have Sam Doherty with the 10 touches, 8 touches to Nick Dacos, Cripps, and Cameron. Josh Dacos with 7, along with Curnow, Chera, and Akers. Yeah, not too surprised there. On the goal kickers, 2 for Zach Williams, and then single goal kickers are Jesse Motlop for the Blues, and for Collingwood, Membry, McStay, Hoskin Elliott, and Elliott with the 1. All right. Oh, these adverts suck, don't they? So moving into the second term, players are just getting their final messages before they're ready to go. So players moving back into position now. Very experienced midfield for Collingwood lining up for their second term. You've got Mitchell, Pendlebury, Cameron, Nick Dacos. Teams would dream of having that lineup going into the middle. So Blues down by 6. They've fought the fight in the opening term, but they have to fight a whole 4 quarters if they're any chance tonight. From the bounce down, Pidnet just got to tap onto it, but Pendlebury gliding through the trademark glide inside the forward 50 to Membry. I mean, if you took a highlight reel of Scotty Pendlebury in his 400 plus games, that would be the highlight you'd see the most. Just him gliding out of clearance inside the forward 50 with a beautiful kick. So Tim Membry, he's already kicked 1 tonight. A chance here for his second goal. 45-degree angle. He'll kick from about 45 metres. And the kick is gorgeous. Collingwood kicked the first goal of the second term. A little bit too easy there for Collingwood. That's a bit of a training drill, that sort of stoppage clearance. So back in the middle we go. From a tap down, Pidnet this time wins it. Cripps gives it to Williams. Steps inside of Dacos. Did it well. Tumbling ball inside the forward 50. Bit of a chaos ball. Moyer tapped it down. Evans ducked his head. Did well there, Maynard. So a chance here for Carlton at stoppage. They've been good tonight in this facet of the game. Tap down, trying to get it was Cripps. Williams in and under, did it really well. Cripps back under again. Hewitt gives it out to Akers. He blasts it high and wide and just lucky to score. So Collingwood working it on the commentary side wing. Josh Dacos over to Crisp. Little chiseler over the top to Sullivan. So on the wing they go now, the Pies. They've got a couple of lead-up options. Doesn't want to waste it though, Sullivan. So he takes his full time and goes really, really wide, too wide on the full. So McGovern will take the free kick. So now McGovern goes back where the ball was a moment ago. Cameron coming in front. Probably should have marked it. Hits the ground now. Motlop jammed it on the boot. Kick on the inside was Dribbler. Did well there. Moyer broke one tackle. Got the handball away towards Pitternet. Don't know about him as the handball receiver, but did well enough to lock it in. So tap down from Cameron. Cripps tried to get it out. Moyer overran it in between his legs. Houston looking for the 1-2. He gets it. Waiting for the right option. Little ball out wide. Good kick. So he hits up McStay. Centre wing on the commentary side. Hasn't seen a lot of it so far. Has kicked a goal though. So McStay going towards centre half forward for Membry. Ball gets out the back. Akers. Good gather. Chera gives it off to Motlop. Kicking short. Wasn't great. And Darcy Cameron cuts it off. So now Cameron going straight through the guts of the MCG to Lipinski. He goes out wide with the kick. Got a bit of overlap here, Markov. Trying to get back off his mark. Took a little bit of time. But now looking for the perfect kick. Myercheck couldn't take the mark. Has time to gather it in the end. Feign the handball. Used Markov as a dummy. And the kick. Inside. Pendlebury couldn't gather it. Hewitt wrapped up nicely. Motlop couldn't gather it on the ground. Pidnet did well. And now Evans down towards the wing. It's a good kick. Akers takes the mark. Immediately wants to go. Curnow has to hold up. Gives the handball back to Akers. Kick towards the 50. It's Zach Williams in a running race. He's got Darcy Cameron tracking him. Williams says, I've got you covered. Kicks it towards the top of the goal square for Moyer. Beaten by Dacos. Did it well. And the Jack Crisp takes the grab. So he plays on Jack Crisp. Short kick for Sullivan. Good grab. An opportunity wasted there for the Blues. So Collingwood to kick the only goal of the second term at the moment. So Sullivan kicks it towards centre wing for Membry. He's having a good game. He's already kicked 2 goals tonight. So kicks it more corridor with the option. Went up Lipinski. Had hands on it. Play on the advantage here. Myercheck gives it off to Nick Dacos. He goes long and straight. Oh, he's good. He is just so good. He only needed a couple of inches of space to work into, and the kick from outside 50 had enough on it. Collingwood kicked the first 2 to the second term, and they break away. So we're back in the middle. Cameron with the tap. Dacos picks it up, shrugs the tackle, handball in between a couple to Cameron. He just jams it forward. Haynes was there. Hoskin Elliott did well to bring it to the ground. Long, quick boots the ball towards the goal square. Myercheck was there, pushed away from it. Wiedering taps it back for Carroll. Doesn't realise he can probably rush this through. He's under all sorts of pressure. He got through just in time. So Collingwood, all they did there was a lot of pressure, but they lock it in here. Membry couldn't gather the bouncing ball. Wiedering gives it off to Fantasia, and off he goes for a bit of a run. Takes the bounce, long kick towards Fogarty. They can go here, Carlton. Short little lead up was nice to Williams. He wants to go. Looking it towards the pocket. Nice kick. And Francis Evans finds a little bit of space. So Zach Williams been a shining light of this first half here for the Blues. And now Francis Evans started his career at Geelong all those years ago. Went to Port Adelaide, played in last year's final series for the Power, then got delisted. Carlton gave him a lifeline. So tucked up in the right forward pocket. It's going to be a tough kick here for Francis Evans. And he kicks it very wide and lucky to score. So short ball now from the kick in for Collingwood goes to Pendlebury. Doesn't have a lot of options, so just goes to the wide ball to Crisp. Collingwood more than happy to just chip it around. So now Houston. A low dart up the wing. Good mark from Hoskin Elliott. Got the hands up. He wants to go. Handball on the inside to Jack Crisp. He'll run all day. Kicks it inside the forward 50. Not a great option. Oh, Carlton players spoil each other. Akers on the ground did nice to recover. Doherty, handball over the top. Missed his target, Hewitt. And now his opponent and Dacos inside the forward 50 turned it over. Wasn't a great kick. So Carroll cuts it off. Works the kick out wide to Moyer. Shown a couple of promising signs in this game so far. Goes towards the wing. It's a good mark from Fogarty. He's got a lot of options. Just has to work off his mark. He's taken a bit long. Eventually finds the kick. Hits up Francis Evans. Gives it off to Holland. Short ball. Wasn't a good kick. Howe didn't get a great spoil onto it, but worked back onto it way too easily as his opponent went to ground. Now Steele gives it off to Sullivan. Short little kick to Dacos. They can go here, Collingwood. Inside ball to Pendlebury. He's calling a couple of players to lead up at him. Now drives it into the pocket for Membry and Elliott, in fact. Great kick from Scotty Pendlebury. So Jamie Elliott, can you believe with, 7 games to go in the season, he's only 2 goals away from kicking a PB in a season. So Jamie Elliott, from 50, kicks it across the face. It won't make the distance. Pidnet couldn't get the spoil. Fantasia wrapped up the top of the goal square, and it's a ball up. So many dangerous options at this forward stoppage here for the Pies. Who's going to get on the fly? So Mychek up against Pitternet. Pitternet with the tap. Long try to slap it to a teammate. Will Oskin Elliott spun. Let the ball go. Chera try to get a kick away. Immediately tackled. Holland's looking for a high. And he got it. So a free kick going the Blues' way. Ollie Hollands. So he switches it out wide with a kick. Kerno coming all the way up the ground to get a disposal. Kick on the inside to Hewitt. He's got a handball. That's where he goes to Akers. Goes to the wide kick. Not a good kick at all. His kicking's been questioned in recent times by Akers, and he's got to fix that up. So he turned it over, and Rowan Smith Steele, I believe. Rowan is the name. Just happily escorting that one over the boundary line. So back in the ruck, Cameron with the tap. Sullivan was there, beaten by Chera. Trying to get a kick away, smothered by Mitchell. Straight to Hollands, gives it off to Williams. He's been good tonight. Had a short option, decides to go longer than that. Darcy Moore has his name written all over it. Not a good kick at all. He had an option over the top to keep the ball in flow, but it's just blasted long in haste and turned it straight over to Darcy Moore. He kicks it long towards the wing. Wiedering is there, spoils it out. So back in the ruck we go. DeConing with the tap. Mitchell got a high one. He'll get the free kick. So Tom Mitchell gets the free kick. Long time out of the game. Finally got his spot back in the lineup. So now Mitchell kicks us towards half forward once again. Membry had hands on it, couldn't win the mark. Sullivan wrapped up, ball spills. Membry back to Dacos, to his brother in Nick. Low darting ball inside 50. How does this man find himself on his own? He's Brody Mychek. They are getting burned in this second term, the Blues. So now Brody Mychek. Tough angle this kick. But he'll be up to it all right. He's kicked it into the post though. So back to 18 points. It just feels like Collingwood have got this game where they want it. Short ball to Wiedering. So now Wiedering just wants to go back towards the members' wing. Finds Carroll. And he blasts it long towards a one-on-one. Fogarty up against Houston. Houston couldn't win it in the air. Fogarty did it well. Cripps over the top to Chera. Smothered. Well done, Houston. Got it out. Gave it to Dacos. Now Mitchell. Handball over the top. They got the overlap here, Collingwood. Lipinski just has to pick the right option, and he did. So Jamie Elliott takes the mark. Goes back and tells Mitch McGovern all about it. Wasn't impressed by the treatment he got there, Jamie Elliott. But now he can make them pay full price if he goes back and kicks the goal. Oh, he got a poke nearly in the eye there, Jamie Elliott, too. So we had a sider from here only a few moments ago. A chance here to give Collingwood a game-high 24-point lead. It's coming back. Oh, that looks good. Collingwood continue to push out the lead. And Carlton seem to have no answers. So it's 24 points the margin right now. Carlton don't look like scoring. Collingwood continue to just flex their muscles. So we're back in the middle again. DeConing with the tap. Ball ricochets off of Cripps' leg. And now Mitchell sockets it off the ground towards centre half forward. McGovern overruns it again. O'Donnell just spins into the contact and a ball up. 8 minutes is still left in the first half. Collingwood looking to push out their margin even further. McStay taps straight to Hewitt. Handball on the outs. McGovern, ball was smothered. McStay couldn't get it out of there. Moyer, ball bounces out of Hollands. And eventually another stoppage. The tackling pressure of Collingwood is frenetic in this second term. From the tap, Cripps coming through, couldn't get it out. Did well in the end. Akers on the up to Hollands. Quick ball across his body, but Quaynor cuts it off. Kick on the inside. Well done there. Motlop was hot on the pressure. Here's a chance here for Carlton. Kerno gives it off to Doherty. Didn't want to waste it. Goes in towards Fantasia. That was a good mark. But now the all-important set shot here for Orazio Fantasia. It's a really good kick there from Fantasia because Maynard is very good at that sort of play, trying to knock it out of the defender's hands in a marking contest, but Fantasia just held his strength in the air. And now, chance here to kick a goal. He comes in, kick looks okay, and he sneaks it in. A much-needed goal there for the Blues. Well, they didn't look like getting a goal, Carlton, but a turnover from Collingwood in the middle of the ground. They get a little bit lucky. So back in the middle we go. Cameron with the tap. Lands to Cripps. Handball over the top. Hewitt back to his captain. Gets it on the left boot. It's an up and under ball towards half forward once again. Hands up was Kerno. Moore fell straight into his back and Markov splits the difference. Gets away. Kicks it towards half forward the other way. Myercheck, how did he mark that? Too good. And now Myercheck going towards the pocket. Haynes did well. Dacos kept his feet though. And it runs out of bounds. So Kerno didn't land it awkwardly in that marking contest. Just lost all his shape and landed right on his hip. That would have hurt too. So he's just hobbled off the ground. Hopefully it's okay. It's just a contact injury, but that wouldn't have been good. So we're back in the ruck here. DeConing with the tap. Hewitt just took the contact like a battering ram straight into McStay, so we get another stoppage. So back in the ruck. DeConing there with McStay. McStay with the tap. Hewitt there with Dacos. Cripps slapped it away. Markov tracking it down. Back to Josh Dacos, and it runs out of bounds again. So back in the ruck. Cameron with the tap again. Hewitt was there. Williams tapped it away from Pendlebury. It went back again. He's been good. Couldn't get it out that time though. Mitchell. Ball just kept on running away from him. Hollands did well with the pressure. Akers to Evans. Williams once again. It's a high up and under ball. Carlton have numbers here. Pidnet did well. But a free kick called for the Pies. So a free kick going to Jeremy Howe against Fantasia. Goes with a bit of a switch kick here. Wasn't a great kick from Howe. Got a nice bounce for Quaynor. Holds up for the moment. And he finds the kick out wide. Finds Steele. And Quaynor kept on running. Just running his opponent off his feet here. Quaynor, short kick to Dacos. Centre wing on the outer side. I haven't used this side of the wing much, Collingwood, in this second term. So he plays on now. Drives it towards the 50. Elliott was there. Ball spills out the back. Whistle was blown. And it's going to be a free kick to the Blues. Tom de Koning. He goes back to Wiedering. They want to go here, Carlton. They want to switch it. So now Haynes. Handball over the top. The ball skid to Chera. Fumble. Has time to get back onto it, though. And kick down the wing. That little fumble cost him his chance. And he turns it over to Maynard. Short ball on the inside to Mitchell. So you go back to Maynard. He wants to go. Just doesn't want to waste it, though. So now Maynard goes towards the pocket. Cameron is there to Koning. Couldn't take it in the air. Haynes ran past it high. Was that on Pendlebury? Didn't agree with it though. So Hollands probably did well on the tackle. I'll have to look at that again, but wasn't a free. So locked in the Pies forward 50. Carlton just have to hold strong here. Pidnet with the tap. Crisp immediately tackled. So Carlton have done well to stem the bleeding, but Collingwood just still threatening. Pidnet takes it out of the ruck, clearing kick outside the D50. Dacos did well. High fend off almost on Fantasia, just did enough to get rid of it. Markov gives it off to Long. It's a chaos ball inside the forward 50. Pidnet should have done better. Lord did well to duck out of a tackle. Chera to Carroll. Gets it outside that defensive 50, but it's going to be coming back again. So Darcy Cameron this time with the intercept mark. Been so good at that this year, the intercept marking. Darcy Cameron, low darting ball wasn't great. Turned it straight over to TDK. So Charlie Curnow about to make his way back onto the ground, which is good signs. Had a little bit of a hip issue moments ago, but he seems all good to go. So now Haynes. It was an absolute floater, but it's actually going to work. So now to Evans. Short ball. Hits up Ollie Hollands. He gives it off to Nick Haynes, who kept on running. Some gut running from the key defender. He blasts it long for Moyer, but Quaynor again. Can't keep on doing that, Carlton. They just keep on blasting long, and Collingwood defenders are just going to read that all day. So he goes back to Houston, who goes with the ball over the top. It's nice. Hits up Maynard. So Maynard wants to go here. Goes with the kick over the top to Hoskin Elliott. On the outer side. In short to Maynard. Lateral ball. Doesn't have a lot of options here, Maynard. Just goes back on the outside. Hoskin Elliott went to ground. It may work to his help there. Long kick inside the forward 50. Membry couldn't mark it. Elliott gets out the back and it runs out. So Collingwood forward stoppage. Carlton are trying to hold strong here. Feels like it's going to be a lot more of a deficit than 18 points this game. But if Carlton can go into the main break only down by a couple of goals, they'd feel like they'd be pretty happy with that. So taken down there by McStay. Chera try to get a handball away. Was that a throw? It wasn't. It's going to be a hold. So Adam Chera will take the free. So he goes with a lateral ball back to Cowan. And he goes across to Wiedering. So they're trying to get it on the open side here, Carlton. Has nothing to go to, though. Finally gets an option on the lead up. Fantasia overran it. O'Donnell's handball had a couple of flames coming off of it, so couldn't control it. Was Fantasia, and it runs out. So just the start of the other game as well, GWS kicked the opening goal. So from the tap down, Cameron to Crisp. He breaks past the tackler, snapping ball inside 50. Great spoil going back. I have to look who that was. It was Carroll. But now Cowan gathered the ball just before it went over the boundary line. Kicks it up the wing, going back. Was Williams. Hit hard in the back. And out of bounds it goes. So 1:50 left in the first half. So throws it back into play, the umpire, right on the centre wing. Hewitt trying to gather it, handballed out. Sullivan couldn't gather it, tapped it well though. Over the top, long to Pendlebury. And Alapinski goes on the outer side. Wide kick for Steele, trying to gather it. Shakes and bakes and did well. Inside the forward 50 with a dart, but Haynes gets back. So now Chera. In the defensive 50, they just can't seem to kick through the zone defense here of the Pies. So it goes back to Haynes. He goes along with the kick. Was there Perryman first and fisted out of bounds. So 1:10 left in the first half. 18 points to the margin. Can Carlton do something late here? Pidnet with the tap. Steele up against Cripps. Pendlebury gets the handball over the top to Hoskin Elliott. He did well. Dribbling ball forward. Didn't really do much with it. Haynes tried to gather it. Kept it in for a moment, but it's out of bounds. So locked inside the forward 50 here for Collingwood. Can they get a late goal? Pidnet with the tap. Cripps was held for a moment. Elliott swinging through. Got onto his right boot. It will go long. It won't have the distance. And he did well there, O'Donnell, to get on the last line. No, he doesn't want to turn this over. He's on the last line of defence here for the Blues. So he's going to go very, very wide. Up went Moyer. Good grab. He wants to wheel and go. Looking for Curnow. Koning will do. Couldn't mark. Moore brought it to the ground. Sullivan tried to duck out of a tackle and did it nicely. Quaynor over the top to Howe. He ducks and weaves past the tackler. Kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Who's going to fly? McStay will do. Good grab. And Collingwood should be able to get the last goal of the first half. So McStay always played on. Oh, he just got it off in time. And the siren will sound. Collingwood kick a late goal to lead by 4 goals at the main break. So at half time, Collingwood lead it by 24 points. Scores are 8-5-53 to Collingwood. Lead the Blues 4-5-29. Alright guys, we're back in about 20 minutes or so of the second half.
G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are here to take a look at some trade rumours. Now we haven't done this in about a month or so, and I think I'm going to have to make these trade rumour episodes a little bit more frequent because we are getting so many of them. So this may be a bit of a longer video for trade rumours, but hey, I'm sure you're all here for a bunch of them anyway. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as we drop these sort of trade videos probably every couple of weeks now, because boy do they start firing around this time of year. So first of all, I want to take a look at some big news regarding Carlton and some potential players leaving them, or the fact that Graham Wright has joined the club, and at recent times he's been at Collingwood and he did a mass exodus there with a bunch of senior players who are on high money, which is a potential that they could be doing that at Carlton. And 2 names that came to mind from Damien Barrett recently was Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay. Damien Barrett also put on the line that the Sydney should be looking at a player like Charlie Curnow because of the Swans' forward woes at the moment and the fact that they need someone to take over basically from the Buddy Franklin era. Now, do I think that Charlie Curnow or Harry Mackay will leave? No, I don't think that will happen. However, I wouldn't be surprised if the Swans start going hard for a player like a Charlie Curnow type, Harry Mackay type, because they kind of do need a really big forward to take over, because it just doesn't seem like Logan McDonald's going to be able to be that player. Neither is Hayden McLean, and Joel Amartey. Yes, he's a pretty good full forward, but I don't know if he can do that sort of role playing up the ground. We'll talk about a couple of other players that could be linked to the Swans in the future in a minute, but those two I think are going to be off limits at Carlton at this stage. Now, sticking with the Blues, we have Tom Koning. It does seem that he's held talks with the Blues that he wants to stay, but the issue is he won't sign at the moment because of the financial gap that is just too big. Now, we obviously know the rumours surrounding Tom Koning that he's being offered $1.7 million to join St Kilda. The Blues' current offer is around 1.1, so that's $600K per year. That's a huge gap. That's not nothing. I'll probably look at it and see that none of them won a premiership in the last 30 years, so you might as well go get the money. However, Tom De Koning loves being at Carlton. From my perspective, 600k a year is a lot to pass up. I do think that Tom De Koning will eventually leave. I think this story won't go away very quickly. Now, another player from Carlton apparently that could be a potential watch is Sam Walsh. It does seem at this stage, according to Cal Toomey, that Geelong, St Kilda and Hawthorn are all interested in Sam Walsh. That would be a massive loss for the Blues. He is contracted for this year. He goes out of contract next year. I don't see him leaving either. I mean, you got to think about it, that there's a lot of high-priced players at the Blues. There's a huge top end of players there. So I think Tom De Koning will be the one who's gone and leave some salary cap space for others. But of course, there will be other Carlton players that will be linked to other clubs because of their salary cap issues at the Carlton Footy Club. I don't think Sam Walsh will go anywhere though. Now moving on from Carlton, we next get to a couple of players linked to the West Coast Eagles. First of all, Angus Sheldrick and Neil Erasmus. Both of them are fringe players to both of their sides. We've seen Angus Sheldrick hit the Swans lineup in more recent times. Neil Erasmus has just got back into the Fremantle lineup in the last few weeks. They are both being linked to the West Coast Eagles. Sheldrick, as a Swan supporter, I really don't want him to go. I think he's a very good potential inside mid for Sydney. I wouldn't be surprised if the Swans are going to be looking for a big key forward if something does fall through, like a potential fringe player like Angus Sheldrick, who does have a lot of potential there. And he only just got back into the team. He missed all of 2024, a little bit of injury, but was also just couldn't get into the main 23. Now he may be able to get through there now, but there is a lot of injuries at the Swans that they're just starting to get back. So Angus Sheldrick, I think, could be a little bit of an option here. Neil Erasmus, I mean, I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see a Fremantle player join the West Coast Eagles. I think that's just on if he wants more game time, which he probably would get at the Eagles. Another couple of players have been linked include Will Phillips, of course, a former top 3 draft pick, obviously at North Melbourne at the moment, and Devon Robertson. This is both Geelong and the West Coast Eagles. We've seen Devon Robertson be linked to the West Coast a couple of years ago. However, he decided to stay at the Lions, but hasn't been able to break back into that team on a regular basis. So Devon Robertson, I think, would probably go. Will Phillips is an interesting one, though, because he's never been able to break through at North Melbourne. He came in at the time. He was in front of Sheasel, Wardlaw on his draft year, and they've all surpassed him clearly now. And in more recent times at AFL level, he's played as a tagger, and now he's just stuck in the VFL. I wouldn't be surprised if he looks to leave, and West Coast are looking at him at this stage. Also Geelong, which I think maybe would be a better option for him personally, but we just have to wait and see. Also on Geelong players being linked, it is James Worpel. He has also been linked to Melbourne in more recent times, but Geelong's interest continues to grow. Now, we talked about this last video regarding the trade rumours. I think he would be a good fit for Melbourne. We have obviously seen the recent re-signing of Keziah Pickett, which is massive for them, with a massive deal. We did also talk last episode regarding Clayton Oliver. That really hasn't gone anywhere at this stage. But thinking about it now, I think it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he wanted to go to somewhere like a Hawthorn or a Geelong, Clayton Oliver, that maybe a James Worpel type would be a good get for them. Now, there are a few other players that could potentially be looking at Melbourne as a destination. One of them is actually Callum Brown, of course, a Giants forward. It does seem that Melbourne are keeping tabs on him, according to Fox Footy. I'm a little bit concerned about this one if I'm Melbourne, to be honest, because, or if I was a Melbourne fan, because we've seen this with Shane McAdam. He's not a key forward, but he's a third tall. And Callum Brown, I don't think, has the capability to play as a big forward, which is something that Melbourne desperately need. Callum Brown is a good third tall forward for the Giants, but is he going to be that player to take Melbourne forward, or is he just another fringe player? That's my concern there. If they offer him big money, maybe Callum Brown would decide to leave. We'll just have to wait and see. Could be a developing story going forward. Another one as well, which Melbourne were linked to in the last trade period, however, the Giants did decide to hold on to him, is Wade Dirksen. He's out of contract this year, which is why the Giants held on to him. However, it does seem at this stage that he's most likely to be seeking a trade once again, assuming it will be Melbourne as well. So that's another fringe player for the Giants. Also, Xavier O'Halloran has held his contract away from the Giants at this stage. He did have some strong links to the Bulldogs in more recent times in the last trade period. However, he did stay with GWS, but it does seem now that he's going to make a call on his future at the end of the year, but also could be another fringe player for the Giants that could be looking to leave. And the final fringe player for GWS is Jacob Ware. It does seem that he has caught some interest from rival clubs, and he is an unrestricted free agent at the Giants at the end of the year. The club is trying to work through a number of out-of-contract players. Going to be interesting because We saw, I think it was 3 or 4 fringe-ish players for GWS leave last year, and they've been questioned this year, GWS, for losing all those fringe players. And you have to remember, premierships and finals in general are won on a 22-23 man squad, not, the top 6. I mean, that's basically why the Swans didn't win in 2024, because their stars didn't play well, and Brisbane played as a squad, and they won and demolished them. So the Giants have to be careful here of not losing players en masse, because they've signed players like Finn Callahan, which is great, and they've got a couple of other re-signings, but they need to hold on to some of these fringe players as well. And just because there's a lot of issues here with the Giants losing some of their fringe players, I'm a little bit worried about them. But hopefully they can hold on to a couple of these ones, but clubs are circling. Now, news on Jamari Ugle-Hagan. Of course, he has returned to training in the recent week. It does seem, though, according to Channel 7 or 7 AFL, that clubs are looking at him still, with Melbourne, Brisbane and others all in the mix. We have seen in more recent times the Swans wanting to look at him, which seem to be the front runner at this stage for Sydney Swans if he is to leave. The Bulldogs now have changed their tune. It does seem a little bit more in the media aspects that they do want to hold him. I don't know if that's exactly just ploys from the club, just trying to, if they are, because I mean, if they just say that they're happy for him to leave, then they can't get much back for him, because he still is contracted for, I think, until next year. So the club can't just say to get rid of him. But at this stage, I would be very surprised if he stays at the Dogs. But many clubs are circling. Geelong, Collingwood, Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane are all around the mark for Jamara. Harley Reid continues to be a story. He'll continue to be a story basically for the rest of his career until he either leaves or he signs a million-year contract. Who the hell knows? He will always be in headlines for trading. However, it does seem Richmond have been urged to consider putting a mammoth deal to the West Coast Eagle in more recent times to try and get him back to Victoria. However, according to Jake Niall, Reid is seemingly looking more likely that he will stay at West Coast at least until the 2026 season is over, when his contract does end. So I'll be a little bit surprised if he does leave now. I think he's starting to settle somewhat in WA. I think he'll at least see out his contract, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens. Because West Coast are planning on a big deal for Harley that may even take him to free agency. Now, Oscar Allen, this is an interesting story regarding him. It does seem from John Ralph that Oscar Allen is firmly in the sights of the Brisbane Lions, with Hawthorn seemingly pulling out after being told they might need to offer him 6 years at $1 million to lure him to the club. So Brisbane seem like the huge front runners now for Oscar Allen's signature. Moving on to some Collingwood news, because I'm sure there's a lot of Collingwood fans out there watching this video. There is some news regarding Darcy Cameron from Scott Cummings in the WASEN. He does say that he has got mail that the Eagles are almost locked away Darcy Cameron. They are hell-bent on him. And it does seem that there is a lot of meaningful interest from the West Coast Eagles. However, Darcy Cameron does want to stay at Collingwood. He is contracted until the end of 2026, which is next year. However, West Coast are highly interested in luring him away. I don't see Darcy Cameron leaving. I think that would be a huge move, in my opinion. He's been probably second or third best ruckman in the comp this year. West Coast just brought in Matt Flynn 2 years ago to try and change. Now, granted, Darcy Cameron's much better than a Matt Flynn, obviously. But I just think that's so far away. I couldn't see that happening. I feel like this one's not going to happen. It feels like, in my opinion, this is a manager trying to get Darcy Cameron a little bit more cash. So for Darcy, hell yeah, get that bag, king. For actual trade rumour, I highly doubt it. Another one as well from Cal Toomey regarding Collingwood player is Jamie Elliott. The Brisbane Lions are starting to reignite interest in Jamie Elliott. I can't see that happening either. That would be a massive deal. He's had a career best year, which has been very hard to come by for him through injury throughout a lot of his early career. He's finally got some continuity in his game. I couldn't see him leaving Collingwood now. That would be a shock move, in my opinion. Now, granted, Collingwood probably have to lose maybe one or two of their older players this year. Jamie Elliott would be around that mark, but I don't think he's the guy who's going to be going. I think he's in a very good combination with Beau McQuarrie and Bobby Hill in the last year or so, especially this season. So I don't see him going anywhere. I would be very surprised if I saw Jamie Elliott throughout the rest of his career in any colours other than black and white. This one I think could have a little bit of merit to it, but I would be a little bit surprised as well. Jeremy Howe. It does seem, according to Sam McClure and Mitch Cleary, they are alluding to the fact that maybe North Melbourne would be looking at Jeremy Howe as a similar sort of trade to, if we remember back in the day, Sam Mitchell at Hawthorn. He went to the West Coast Eagles in the last year of his career to then turn into a coach. So that could be a move for Jeremy Howe to North Melbourne. I wouldn't be opposed to that sort of change for Collingwood, but Jeremy Howe's in very good form at the moment. I'd be a little bit surprised if he was one to go as one of their older players. But if he does want to go into coaching, maybe that's the way he wants to look at it. But moving into players that could be coming to Collingwood, and this is probably the biggest story that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. This first came to light from the AFL's Gettable podcast or show. Cal Toomey did allude to the fact that there is a feeling around the competition that the Pies have all but locked in a big fish. It's just a matter of who. And Ryan Daniels has almost confirmed that the player in question is Ben King. According to Ryan Daniels, he has said that he has it on good authority that Collingwood are very, very confident into the end of the season getting Ben King to the Magpies. That would be a massive get for them. They have, I mean, they don't even really struggle with their kick forwards, but Ben King is definitely above the likes of Myercheck, Mason Cox, Daniel McStay, Tim Membry. This guy could lead their forward line for the next 5-6 years. This is a bit 50-50 because Collingwood's such a big club. If this happened 2 years ago, I'd say 100% Ben King's gone. Now the Gold Coast are a little bit more successful. It does beg the question if Ben King will leave. I really don't know. My gut says yes. My head is kind of 50-50. I'm feeling like he wants to come back to Victoria. His brother, obviously his twin brother's still here. I have a twin brother. It is an interesting sort of dynamic there. My gut says yes. That's me. Maybe put that in the bank for Collingwood fans out there. Be excited. Ben King's going to be suiting up in black and white. Honestly, I don't know, but my gut kind of leans towards yes. Now, sticking on the Suns, though, a couple of players that could potentially be looking to leave. Connor Buderick is a player that is being monitored by a lot of clubs. He is uncontracted beyond this season. Essendon and North Melbourne in recent times have looked at him. He's had a few good games this year, Connor Buderick. He had a very good pre-season. Has come on a little bit, but John Noble and Daniel Rioli take the mantra in that back line with Bodie Hewland. So Connor Buderick is a little bit behind a couple of players. So interesting to see if he would move on. Sam Flinders is a big one here. So there's a big watch around him in the back half of the year. A couple of years ago, he was linked to the Tigers in Victoria. He did decide to sign a couple of year deal, but he's definitely fallen out of that midfield mix that he had in 2024. He's fallen into more of a half-forward role, which is something that doesn't really suit him. So I think that a couple of clubs will be looking at him and offering him a lot more midfield time, which is something that he seems to thrive with, or at least half back, which is something he's been good with as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Flinders looks to move on. Elijah Stardust, he is one of the players in the midfield market throughout the year. Obviously, he hasn't been able to break through into that Essendon main 23. He's been struggling behind a couple of other Bombers players. He's a former number 5 pick, so definitely a player that some clubs could look at. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still in Essendon colours next year. He just seems to be stuck behind a few. He's been playing in the VFL, dominating back there, so I wouldn't be surprised if he moves on. Wanganeen Miller, what a story this has been over the last few weeks. Caroline Wilson came out with a story saying that he is rejected going to the Adelaide Crows because of Taylor Walker's racism ban in 2021. However, the reports were quickly extinguished by, first of all, the player manager of the side, Wanganeen Miller, and then by Taylor Walker himself. And then Caroline Wilson was adamant that it was true. And then Nasiah Wanganeen Miller came out and went and called Taylor Walker and said that it's not true. I think she's got the story wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, obviously, he's been linked to Port Adelaide and the Crows because he's an SA boy. St Kilda are wanting to pay him a lot of money. Jace Burgoyne and Jason Horne-Francis both have tried to do a bit of recruiting to try and bring him to the club in the St Kilda buy. He came back to Adelaide and they tried to take him to dinner, apparently. This is such an interesting watch. I think we'll be seeing Nasiah Wanganeen Miller in Port colours. Now, I'll just quickly tell my brother to put the gun down.
Mickey Mouse, but please put the gun down.
I do actually think he will be in Port colours next year. I think that he has a lot of mates that are linked here to South Australia. He obviously has a family connection with Port Adelaide as well. It's just interesting to see if St Kilda can offer him enough or the Crows can bring enough success factor to it. But sticking with the power, Miles Bergman potentially could be a straight swap because clubs in the hunt for Miles include the Saints and the Western Bulldogs, who have been linked to him for quite a while now. Now, he's been shown as more of a tagger this year in more recent times to Port Adelaide, so that's another string to his bow. But there are 5 clubs at this stage that are linked to him, including the Saints and the Dogs. We've also got Melbourne, Essendon and Carlton. So that could be massive. And there's also been other talks that potentially the other Victorian clubs, including North Melbourne, Collingwood, Geelong, are also looking at Miles Bergman. Such an interesting story. And of course, Port Adelaide have offered him a lot of money to stay at the Power. I think if Wanganeen Miller decides that he wants to go to the Power, I think Bergman could be one that goes on the outer and is picked up by another club. He's very important to them. He's such a versatile player, and you don't get that sort of player these days. So he's very important for Port Adelaide. We'll just have to wait and see how that one plays out. My gut feeling here is that he will go because I think that Wanganeen Miller will go to the Power. That's my thoughts. But finally, I wanted to bring up the ruck merry-go-round. So this happens every couple of years, I think. We just see a bunch of ruckmen switch and swap between different clubs. Apparently, there's a four-way move that could be happening on ruckman this year. We've got Rowan Marshall, Sean Darcy, Riley O'Brien, and Sam Draper. So first of all, Rowan Marshall has been linked to the Cats and the Adelaide Crows. It does seem that Geelong have always been linked to Rowan Marshall or Sean Darcy, which we'll get to in a moment. But it does seem that if the Saints are able to bring in Tom McConing, which does seem inevitable at this moment, that Rowan Marshall always wants to be a number one ruck, which means he probably gets pushed out. Now, is that the Cats or the Crows? The Crows are potentially looking at him because Riley O'Brien is not offered a very good deal from the Crows at this stage, which may mean he wants to look elsewhere. Rowan Marshall, if he does go, I think it would be Geelong more likely, but the Crows could offer him quite a lot. Riley O'Brien, I think, is also a watch. Sam Draper, it doesn't seem that he's got too much interest from the Crows as much anymore. It does seem that the Brisbane Lions are looking a lot more into Sam Draper at this stage as a free agent. So that's someone to keep an eye on at the moment. And finally, Sean Darcy is kind of an enigma at the moment. We don't really know if Luke Jackson, he does seem that he wants to stay at Fremantle. Geelong have kind of poked their head out at Luke Jackson. However, Sean Darcy seems to be one that I think will probably be the one to go from Fremantle. I think he's too injury prone. I honestly think Fremantle look a lot better with Luke Jackson as the sole ruck. But
Alright guys, players are moving back into position for the second half. So can Carlton fight their way back in the second half, or will the story continue down this same path? Four goals to the margin. Second half about to get underway. It's going to be a mighty effort for the Blues to win this one from here. From the tap down, Cameron wins the first tap. Dacos was held for the moment. Play on, says the umpire. Long went to the ground. Dacos pleading with the umpire for a free kick. Didn't get it. Chera with the clearance forward. Good mark from Darcy Moore. So now Moore plays on immediately. Runs away. No one can really catch him. He runs his full measure. It's an absolute floater down the wing. He's looking for the right option. Just couldn't kick it far enough. Doherty cuts it off. Hollands running away from his opponent. Handball back. Lord. Up and under sort of ball. All Collingwood here. Quaynor takes another intercept mark. So Collingwood have it with Quaynor at half back. Kicks it towards the corridor with the kick. Wiedering won it to the ground. Mitchell is there. Gives it off to Dacos. Running away. Looking for the 1-2. Can't get it this time. Lipinski gives it off to Long. Changed down there by Evans. Got the handle away just in time. Sullivan kicking it forward. Elliott back to Lockie Sullivan. They can always run it to the goal line here. Myercheck ducks past the tackler. Saps it through. Well, Collingwood just continue on their merry way. So we're back in the middle once again. 30 points the difference. Game high. Cameron with the tap. Mitchell was held without it for a very long time. Umpire put the whistle to the mouth, but says play on. Now Williams. Clearance forward. Low ball was good. That's a better kick, and Tom DeConing on the lead. So Tom DeConing played a little bit of forward in his early career. Now is their bona fide ruckman. And maybe he needs to spend a little bit more time up in the forward line. That was a terrible kick. So Jeremy Howe goes towards the members' wing once again. Cameron. God, he's good in the air. Being good again. So Cameron gives it back to Maynard. He'll blast it up the wing towards Elliott. Wiedering is there. McStay out the back. Fisted it down really well to Mitchell. Don't know if he meant that, but it works out in the end. Lipinski. Handball on the inside to Quaynor. Saw a player coming on his inside, so quickly duck past him. Handball back to Houston. Kicks it on the perimeter of 50 to Steele. The debutant in short. Nice kick to Jamie Elliott. That went about 5 metres, that kick, but the umpire paid it. So Jamie Elliott, a chance here for his third goal. He's going to kick from outside 50. It's going to have to be an almighty kick. It's coming, but not enough. Oh, not great work here from the Blues. They've turned it over. Lipinski gives it off to Nick Dacos. He ducks and weaves around a couple, looking for the perfect option. He finds it in Maynard. Oh, it just goes from bad to worse for the Blues. So Doherty's kick outside the 50 goes past Hollands. Wasn't a good enough kick. And then another turnover. Collingwood will always make you pay on the counter. So Braden Maynard hasn't played since round 11. Since then, he has re-signed with the club. He'd love to kick a goal. Oh, and he misses as well. Collingwood just playing with their food at the moment. So now McGovern clears it outside the 50. Long ball was there. Pidnett couldn't take the mark. Cripps, handball over the top. Curnow slapped it back for Chera. Did well. Pushed out of it. There was Pidnett. And now a turnover once again. Dacos with two Crisp. Blasts it long for McStay. Carroll did well in the air. Free kick called. Another free kick. It's going to be going Collingwood's way to McStay. And Carlton defenders just look back in anger once again. Oh, they've both got each other. That's ridiculous. That's crap. I fucking hate that. There's 4 of the umpires out there and they still fuck it up. Anyway, McStay will come in. Should kick the goal. Oh, he made it look a little bit ugly, but it just drifts in. So Collingwood continue to just push out the lead even further. So back in the middle once again. Hewitt trying to get the handball out to Moyer. Passes him, but Cowan does well. Pitternet back to Cowan. Kept on running. That looks good. Can they get the finished product? Curnow does well. Ollie Hollands telling his power forward to go for goal. Curnow turns onto his right. Drives towards goal. And it's another behind for Curnow. So now Collingwood come off the D50. Maynard up the wing. Wasn't a great kick, so Pitternet cuts it off. He gives it off to Cowan, who kicks towards the 50. Williams is there. Howe lets it at the back, but there's no danger. It spills out. 36 points the margin. Carlton have only kicked 4 goals. Collingwood have been dominant since quarter time. So Pitternet with the tap. Chera was there. Did well to tap it to his own advantage. Carroll, Hollands. One more handball. Can they get out? Williams. He's been their best all night. Couldn't get the kick away. Quaynor gives it off to Sullivan. Doesn't have many options forward, so just holds up for the moment. Handball goes into Crisp. Kicks down the line. Turned it over to Wettering. Zach Williams is just holding his right knee at the moment. Terrible kick there from Wettering. Made Carroll put him under all sorts of pressure. Carroll was good enough to get away from it. And now Cowan. So he's got a bit of a stinger to his knee. Zach Williams just holding his knee. He seems a little bit still injured. I don't know why they stopped the play. That was ridiculous. But anyway, so Lloyd gets the handball over the top to Fogarty. Wrapped up, ball up. Won't be long before Carlton, I think, make their sub in a minute. Flynn Young is their sub. Collingwood's is Will Parker. Cameron with the tap again. Sullivan handballed out. Dacos couldn't gather at the ball and it trickles out of bounds. So Hewitt looks like he's definitely taking Dacos when he's at stoppage, but just seems to be a little bit too quick, a little bit fleet of foot for Hewitt. So Pitternet takes it out of the ruck and runs away. Hasn't done that many times in his career. Gives it off to Chera. Quick boots the ball, goes long. Fogarty going back with the flight, couldn't mark. Motlop takes the contact. Held up by 2 pies, not getting out of those tackles. So Curnow just makes his way back to the goal square, back at the stoppage. Williams looks okay at the moment. Dribbling ball towards the goal. Moore was there, got a high one. Probably should have been 50 against Curnow there. So Collingwood fan just giving Curnow every single bit of it. Long kick from Moore. Wettering got a fist onto it. Pumps it back into the stands. So 36 points to the margin. Carlton had a lot of territory in this third term, but they just can't get it translating onto the scoreboard. Cameron, little tap. Socket off the ground by Crisp. Lord, don't know why he's trying to claim the mark. Did okay to get the kick away, but now Crisp. Cameron got the hands free. Dacos, Crisp, just too slick, just too strong. Handball just missed Pendlebury that time. Cowan locked up. Tap down from Cameron. Williams trying to break through. Dacos up and under kick. Lipinski stands underneath it. In fact, it's Perryman. Did really well, and then Hollands holds him up. So they're just inching it forward a little by little here, the Collingwood Footy Club. So Cameron takes it out of the ruck this time. Gets a good 25 metres on the kick. Bouncing down the wing. Membry and Wettering. Wettering did well to soccer it away. To space for Lord. Trying to keep it under his possession. Did okay. Perryman sitting on top of him. Ball up. Right in front of the interchange gates of Collingwood. So back in the ruck again. De Koning and Cameron. De Koning did well. Cripps got hit up the midriff. Got the kick away. Maynard. Good gather. Handball over the top. Crisps. Quick boot to ball. Up the wing. Doherty couldn't gather it. Wiedering just fists it back the other way. 20 metres, but turned it over. Perryman over the top to McStay. Kicks it long inside the forward 50 towards Elliott. Pushed McGovern under it. Oh, he got very lucky, I think. That's a push in the back. So Jamie Elliott, kicked 2 tonight. He's kicked a few goals from this position in his career. And you know what? He's missed that one. So now McGovern runs outside the defensive goal square and kicks it up the wing again. Fogarty couldn't mark it in the air. Did well to bring it to the ground. To Koning. Was held for a moment. Play on. Houston kicks towards centre half forward. Great kick. Lipinski takes the mark. He wants to wheel and go. Where's a chance? Where's an option? He goes for the pocket. And Elliott again. Jamie Elliott's had a few opportunities tonight to kick his 40th goal, which is a career high in a season. Can he kick it now? A little bit too easy. So Jamie Elliott comes around the body and Jamie salutes. They kick away again. And Jamie Elliott, a career season from him. He's kicked 40 goals. So we're back in the middle once again. Collingwood continue to kick away. 43 points now. Tap down from De Koning. Ball in dispute once again. Somehow spills out to Mitchell. Immediately on the up to Lipinski. Low darting ball inside 50. May have just been a replay of the last play as Jamie Elliott comes out on the lead. So Jamie Elliott. He's on fire at the moment. He's already kicked 3 tonight. He kicked 1 moments ago. And that one is even better. He's got 4. Well, this could be an almighty thumping against the old foe. So we're back in the middle once again. Carlton need a response. To Koning with the handball forward to Hewitt. Now Moyer got back onto his left boot. Bit of a tumbler towards half forward. Curnow gathered it in the end. Handball over the top to Lord. He blasts it long, looking for a flyer. Motlop is there, so is McGovern. He did okay to glide in front. Looks like he's been shifted forward, and it rolls out. So back in the ruck once again. De Koning was pushed in the back. Ball spills out the back. Motlop an opportunity. Snapped it well. That's a little bit better for the Blues. Well, they finally break their drought. Their first goal of the second half. So it's back to 43 points. Motlop's got to get to much needed goal, but Collingwood looking to respond in haste. Pendlebury gets it forward. Bouncing ball. Sullivan ducks and weaves. Handball over the top. Lipinski just takes the contact and runs it over. 8.5 left in this third term. Collingwood have been dominant since quarter time. Still subs are yet to be used for either team. Surprised Carlton have not used theirs yet. So back in the ruck. Cameron with the tap. Sullivan gliding through. Pushes away past the tackler. Snaps it, truly. Oh, everyone's getting in on the fun. Well, that was pretty poor from the Blues, but Collingwood will love every moment of this. So Collingwood, quick response. Big goal from Lachie Sullivan. He knows what's up for grabs at the end of the year. From the clearance, Williams been their best all night for Carlton. It's an up and under ball towards half forward. Moore slapped away from him. Perryman pushed away. Houston gathers it. Spun 360. Ball up. Fantasia and Houston, of course, former teammates at the Port Adelaide. Tap down. Mitchell. Handball back. Maynard to Josh Dacos. They'll share it around for a moment. Here the Pies. Long. Gives it off to Lipinski. Kick on the inside. Mitchell. Imagine going through your VFL side and just finding a Tom Mitchell in there. So now Dacos kicks it up the wing towards Hoskin Elliott. Spoiled away by Carroll. Did it well. Good gather on the ground. Feigns a handball on the inside. Go for a run, young man. Kicks it up the wing. Not a great looking ball. Moyer did well. Claims the mark. Got it. Wasn't a great kick from Carroll, but Moyer made it look okay. So Ashton Moyer played a game early in the year. Oh, he got way too close to the man on the mark. Maynard read that all the way. He runs away with the kick. Long ball towards the one-on-one in McStay. There's no one between him and goal. He takes the mark. Now he's got a few options. Who does he want to choose? He decides to go himself. McStay goes long. It dribbles. It rolls. It goals. Oh, how good is that? It's 55 points the margin. The chant of Collingwood goes around the ground. Carlton fans having nightmares. Had a lot of options there, McStay, so he had to kick at Haynes. I think he could have gone back a little bit harder here. They're putting an almighty margin on their old foes here, Collingwood. Pidnet tap. Cripps straight down. Now Chera kicks it towards half forward. Darcy Moore yet again. Probably should have marked that. Handball got it away. Now Steele gives it off nicely to Perryman. Up the wing with the kick towards Hoskin Elliott. Couldn't take the mark, but even the ball's bouncing for them. Dribbling ball towards Membry at half forward. Breaks the tackle. Handball on the inside. Back to Hoskin Elliott. He wants to find the perfect option. Drives it inside the forward 50 towards the pocket for McStay. Just dropped it. So it looks like Jeremy Howe's been subbed out. I'm sure that's just precautionary. So Will Parker has came onto the ground for the first time for Collingwood. So from the tap down, Chera can't get there. Akers beaten to it. So throws it back in. Pidnet may have been holding in the ruck. Play on, says the umpire. Dacos couldn't gather it. Hewitt worried him out of it. Handball over the top by Cripps. Now Lord kicks it up the wing towards the one-on-one to Koenig. Beaten. Darcy Moore just read the footy too good. So now Moore kicks it up the wing. Pidnet beaten. Well done by Cameron. So now Cameron, what does he want to do with it? He gives it off to the handball to Josh Dacos. He'll blast it high and long. Membry sits underneath it. One, couldn't grab it on the second attempt. Long, quick boot to ball. Oh, everything's going right. Well, Michael Voss would be looking for the deepest, darkest hole right now to climb into. It's 61 points against the Pies. Every player is playing their role. From the tap down long to Dacos. It's just a clinic. Handball over the top to Pendlebury. He wants to get in on the act. He works the kick out wide for Sullivan. Who does he want? He holds it up. He works it into the pocket. Lipinski will do. In fact, it's Jack Crisp. So Jack Crisp, tucked up in the left forward pocket. You know what? Everything's going right for Collingwood, and that is as well. Oh, well. Say goodnight, Carlton. Collingwood have murdered them at the MCG tonight. It's getting embarrassing now. Collingwood are just kicking away. So we're back in the middle once again. They lead it by how much? 67 points. So Nick Dacos tracking the footy. Couldn't get there. Steele coming in. Got the ball, did well. Socketed it towards Sullivan. Back to Pendlebury. Who does he want? McGovern shut him down from the blind side. Did it well. Need a lot more of that for the Blues. So McGovern. Lateral ball to Cowan. So he kicks it forward, looking for Curnow, gets out the back, Fantasia tracking it, Pendlebury there first. Dacos did okay, shrugged the tackle, handballed long, another broken tackle for the Blues, handball on the outside and Crisp, he'll run all day. To Dacos, handball on the inside, long knocked off it. Cripps did well. Over the top, Akers, Williams, on the inside to Curnow, he's got a handball option, does well to get on the underground, and now Francis Evans, need the reply and another behind. So now Josh Dacos just works it in short to Maynard. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. So Maynard in short. So the last time Collingwood beat Carlton by over 60 points was in round 5, 2015. Long time between drinks. And this one's got the hallmarks of a 100-point loss if they keep it going this way. Dacos kick in short to Membry. Inside to Pendlebury. And he goes to Dacos. This is Josh in the center of the MCG. Looking for an option. Who does he want? McStay can't mark. Lord. Handball over the top. Motlop. Try to slap it onto Evans. Great tackle from Steele and Quaynor. Lock it in there once again, Collingwood. 2:35 left. So Cameron Tapp. Pendlebury trying to get it out. Chera held him up. Houston threw it forward almost. Now Lord to Williams. Takes his time. Wide ball to Akers. So who does Akers want? He goes very wide with the kick to Doherty. Gives it on the inside to Hollins. Can they get a goal here? Over the top now to Curnow. Quaynor probably gave away 50 there. Play on, says the umpire. So Curnow goes over the top. Another missed kick. How is that? He had Fantasia all on his own in the pocket. Charlie Curnow, he's all out of confidence. So locked inside the forward 50 for the Blues. Curnow coming through, and he misses again. So a long kick here from Darcy Moore. Couldn't take the mark. Crisp. Elliott knocked out of bounds. 1:42 left in this third quarter. Collingwood have dominated it. 8-1 in this third term. Collingwood have blitzed them. So Pidnett did well. Try to get the kick away. Now Fantasia locked up by two pies. Spills to Sullivan. Quickly boots the ball towards half forward. Wiedering couldn't mark. Handball back. McGovern holds up for the moment. Kick out wide to Akers. So it looks like there may be a bit of an issue here for Darcy Cameron. Yeah, he's not happy with his left or right arm. I think he's okay. So now Pidnett. He goes long with the kick. The coning is there. Went up early. Gives away the free. So Quaynor will get it. Oh no, it wasn't paid, so it's out of bounds. So 55 seconds left in this debacle of a quarter for the Blues. DeConing slaps it towards the front of the contest. Dacos push past by Williams. Trying to fight the fight. Gave it off to Motlop. Tried to break a tackle. Dacos wasn't taking any of it. Out of bounds. So back in the ruck again. Can Carlton find a late goal? DeConing brought his opponent to the ground. Fantasia did well to get it to Curnow. Little handball underground. And Zach Williams. He's been a shining light all night. He's kicked 3. He's the one fighting for the jumper. Not many followers, though. So 31 seconds left in this third term. Pidnet with the tap down. Chera push past it. Dacos again. Well, they got the quick response last time. They're looking for it again. Sullivan played on. Didn't really have many options, so he gives it back to Josh Dacos inside the forward 50. Stopped off the ground there by Cowan, Doherty, Chera, and now McGovern. Just get it out of the area, he says. Wide ball. Akers dropped the mark. Houston picks it up. Quick handball. Pendlebury, crisp. Low darting ball. It's a dribbler. Dacos got a high one. And he'll get the shot on the siren, Nick Dacos. Well, it's been a bit of a training drill in this third term. Nick Dacos already has a goal. Shot after the siren to push it back over a 10-goal margin. Nick Dacos comes in, and he is human. He misses. But what an almighty quarter from Collingwood, just flexing their muscles, showing the competition they are the team to beat. And at three-quarter time, the Pies lead by 60 points. That's right, 60 points. All right, let's have a look at the fucking fantasy scores. This game's fucking terrible, eh? I don't think the other game's going that much better, but I think it would have been a lot better to watch. Well, not much better. The Giants are 35 points up, so, you know. I have it muted. Go me. So back in the tap. McStay wins it down. Trying to soccer it off the ground there with Steele. Doherty back to Chera. Jams it on the boot. Up the wing. Looking for the one-on-one. Curnow couldn't mark. Maynard did well. Parker wrapped up by Motlop. And it spills out again. So throws it back into play, the umpire. Pitternet takes it out of the ruck. Handball. Missed his target. Well done there by Crisps. Crisp over the top. Mitchell. Now he finds his target and Steele. Kick on the inside. Nice option there from the debutant. Lipinski, who does he want? Has a plethora of options. Just sets it up for Myercheck. Oh, what a grab. He probably hasn't been the one to bank in up forward tonight. Myercheck's only kicked the one. We've seen McStay bank in with Elliott with 4 goals. Membry's got 2. Can Myercheck join the party? So now Brody Myercheck kicks it a little bit wide, misses. So Doherty goes out wide with the kick. Perryman should get there first. Moyer fighting, couldn't get it out of bounds. So umpire throws it back into play. Cameron with the tap. Long tap, slaps it towards Mitchell. And then the handball over the top, Markov. Everything's going right for the Pies at the moment. Long handball on the inside, Miss Pendlebury. Fogarty going with it. Hollins breaks 2 tackles, did okay. Now Pitternet, over to Doherty. They've got some runners here, the Blues. Can they work it out? Lord lets it bounce, tracks it well. Inside the forward 50 to DeConing. Could get a free. Umpire says play on. Motlop didn't have anyone to give it to. Eventually found DeConing. Hewitt, they can work it out here to McGovern. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Not a good kick at all. And Parker takes the relieving mark. Kick out wide. Short ball. Turns it over. So now Cowan in short. Wasn't a great kick. And Parker cuts it off. He's loving a little bit of run on the MCG, the sub. Kicks it forward. Elliott fighting as always. Haynes gathered it. Ball up. So a ball up. Pitternet tap down. Hewitt trying to get it out. He threw that away. Play on. Off they go, the Pies. Nick Dacos. He can choose an option. He goes for Membry. Couldn't mark. Wiedering was held. Play on, says the umpire. Ball underneath Membry and Wiedering. And a ball up. So Cameron just loping over to this ruck contest. He won't get there in time. So Pitternet in the ruck up against Membry. Pitternet with the tap. Slapped it defensive side. Lord gives it off to Pitternet and he blasts it outside the D50. Long towards McGovern. Couldn't mark it. Perryman dug it out. Moore smothered. Ricochets. Hollins. Now they can go Carlton. Fogarty got acres of space out on that wing. Who does he want? Chiseling ball short to Fantasia. He's got Curnow over the top. Decides to just go shorter to Evans. They can work it back to Fantasia here or go further and find Hollins. So Ollie Hollins hasn't troubled the scorers so far tonight. It's a tough kick. He goes long. It's going to go left. And Darcy Cameron's marked it on the line. So Cameron goes to the back pocket in Quaynor. And now Josh Dacos in short. So now Dacos kicks it long, couldn't mark in the air, was Markov. Fogarty, Cripps, gave it well. Carroll swings onto the left, low ball inside the forward 50. That's a good kick! And a good mark from Moyer. Good mark there from Moyer. Showing a couple of decent signs tonight, especially in the air. Can he kick truly here? Straight in front. He'll kick from just inside 50. Kick looks pretty good. Has he got the distance? Very good job. So Carlton get the first goal of the final term. So 12-19 left in this one. Hewitt takes it out. He'll get the clearance here. Inside the forward 50. Had too much on it. And Parker racking them up in this game since he's come on. Wasn't a great looking kick though. Read well there by the other substitute in Young. Just overran it a little. Fantasia looking to get it back. Young fighting. Did okay. Markov. Handle over the top. Dacos gives it back to his brother. They've done it so many times before. Nick Dacos blasted up the wing. Looking for Membry. Haynes. Try to take the mark. Did well to gather it on the wing. Short ball. Wasn't 15. Young. Kick on the inside. Terrible. Perryman. Gives it off to Markov. Looking for the handball option. Eventually finds it in long. He'll sprint away. Broke past the tackler. Back to Markov. Inside 50. Pendlebury. So Scott Pendlebury decides to just chip it into the pocket for Membry. Hollands did well to get a fist onto it and out of bounds. So back in the ruck here, inside the forward 50. Carlton have got the only goal of this fourth term. Lord clears it outside the area. Bounces towards the boundary line. Moore threw that away, but the umpire won't pay that. 10:47 left of this absolute nightmare for the Blues. So Cameron held up on the wing. So back in the ruck. Pitternet tried to get it out of there. Cameron held up for the moment. Sorry if I don't look interested, guys, as I could have been, but fuck me. This is a grinding last term. Collingwood have just put the cue in the rack. Handball away. Nick Dacos. Handball on the inside. Long little tap on. Pendlebury gives it off to Tommy Mitchell. This will get the crowd up and about. Tommy Mitchell misses. Long kick. Curnow couldn't mark it in the air. Ball hits the turf. Handballed. Back to Young. Doesn't know what to do with it. Switches it. Not a bad kick. Haynes. They can go through the middle now. Chera. Goes to the wide kick to Akers. He's got a few numbers forward here. They just have to make it work. Oh, my God. That's a shit kick by Akers. Fuck me. You're an AFL footballer. How do you fuck up that kick? Oh, my God. Fuck me. That was atrocious. So long kick steal inside the forward 50. Cowan trying to make something happen. Breaks past the tackler. Kick into the middle of the ground. They have numbers here, Carlton. They just have to work it out. Evans went to go give a handball. Decides to just go long inside the forward 50. Moyer gives it over the top to McGovern. Should run it into the goal line. And Carlton have got the only 2 goals of the final term. So Pendlebury just breaks past the tackle, gets the clearance, short ball, hits up Oscar Elliott. Got a couple of runners, decides to just go long instead. Pump it back into the danger area. Good mark from Wiedering. That's a great grab with the one hand. Oh, fucking hell. 8.5 minutes left of his suffering. Beaten out of it there, Curnow by Maynard. Now Cameron. Short kick over the top, Parker. Sullivan couldn't mark. Did well to fight for it though. Steele. Handball over the top to Myercheck. Breaks past the tackler. Wants to give off the handball. Steele fighting hard. He's had a good debut. Now Cripps wrapped up. Handballed it somehow. Young over the top. Hollins. Now Carroll can clear. Goes long up the wing. Curnow got hit high. Wasn't paid. Cameron tap, Lipinski, handball on the outer side. Now Steele to Dacos. He'll dribble it up. Or he tried to dribble it up. He tried to get it off the wing down to Crisp. Couldn't mark it though. Young was fighting. Crisp, another tackle. Another ball up. Oh, fucking hell. DeConing with the tap again. Sullivan pushed away, Lord. Handball turned it over again. Dacos gives it over to Pendlebury. Who does he want? On the lead up is Jamie Elliott. So Jamie Elliott is kick 4 tonight. Equal same as Dan McStay. Can he kick 5? It's going to test that right goalpost, and he's hit it. So Collingwood still yet to score a goal in this final term. So Cowan short to Doherty. Gives it back to Cowan who kept on running. Low ball up the wing. That's better. Francis Evans looking corridor. Goes in, finds Chera. Wanted to go. Didn't really have a lot of options. So he goes on this outer side to Haynes. Who does he want? Nick Haynes. He goes towards the pocket. Not a great looking kick. The Koning did well to get there. And now to Koning. No one on the mark. Decides to go to the top of the goal square. Motlop was there. Couldn't mark. Perryman. To Quaynor. Underground handball. Cameron on the up. Lipinski. Everything going right. Goes to the wide ball. McStay. And it's on the full. So Nick Haynes has the footy. Oh, it's a helicopter. It's a shocker. Fucking hell. God, I would hate to be a Carlton fan. Fuck me. So Rowan Steele, on the inside to Mitchell. Back to Josh Dacos. And a good 20-metre ball forward. He finds McStay. So Collingwood just picking through the Carlton defence. He goes long with the kick towards Myercheck. 2-on-1, nearly won it in the air. Pidnet got tackled. Elliott breaks past the tackler. Handball back to Dacos. Handball over the top to Crisp. Has time to fumble. Over the top to Steele. Can they find the free man? Jamie Elliott from just inside 50. Goes to the top of the goal square. And Markov beaten by Doherty. Hollins couldn't get it away. Now Young. Towards the wing. Moore beaten. Now Parker on the inside to Mitchell. Ducks past the tackler. Works it out wide to Perryman. Looking for a target. Sets it up to the top of the goal square. Carlton have the numbers. Brought to ground by O'Farrell. Then turned it over again. So now Wiedering. Go out wide to Akers. A lot of space out on the wing here for Akers. Running in front of the members. Realised there was nothing out here, so had to cut back. Now Evans. Gives it over the top. Chera. Inside the forward 50. That's a better kick. Fantasia. He's shown a couple of good signs tonight. He ducks past one. Goes towards Curnow. In fact, it's Moyer, sorry. But Darcy Moore didn't give up on the fight. That's what the captain needs to do. And he did it brilliantly. Gets the applaudance of his teammates. To Koning with the tap, only as far as Crisp. Wide kick. This will be paid insufficient intent. So O'Farrell will take the kick here. 51 points to the margin. 4 minutes to go. Another smother. Always do the defensive acts. Handball Hollands back to O'Farrell. High up and under ball. Standing underneath it. Evans got a clipped high. Play on. Pendlebury. Tap down, Mitchell. Handball further on to Elliott. Up to Steele. And it's an up and under ball. Inboard. Couldn't mark, was Crisp. Ball spills out the back. Carroll slammed into the turf. They can work it forward here, Carlton. Evans, Hollands. Over the top to Motlop. From 50. Kicks it long. Wide. Very wide. Lucky to score behind. Oh, God. So Maynard blasted high. Wiedering, great spoil. Straight out of bounds. So 3 minutes left of this game. Fuck me. Oh, this is horrible. I'm sorry, it's just fuck me. So Cripps has the footy on the wing with the free kick. Kicks it long, straight to all numbers in white jumpers. Great kick. Fucking, you're the captain of the club, Cripps. You do that all day. Fuck me. Are you fucking moron? Oh, God, I'm not even a Carlton fan. It's fucking embarrassing. Every time. Turnover. Well done there, Carlton. The turnover there to Doherty. Inside the forward 50. Another shit kick. DeConing kicked it on his head. I'd be moving to St Kilda. I'd rather the money than play in this fucking shit club. So now Hoskin Elliott blasts it long. Good kick to Membry. Just holds up for the moment. He's got Myercheck inside the forward 50. Just waiting for the numbers to track back. So goes inboard to Dacos. So Mitchell. So they're just trying to pad up the stats a little bit here, the Pies. Dacos got a couple of disposals. Quaynor now on centre wing. Seems now the only option he has is to go long and hope. High ball, Peter Net got there. Socket off the ground. And very wide. Too wide on the full. 1:23 left. Disappointing game, it looks like. Guess the West Coast GWS game was the main event tonight. What's the score in that one? Because that's not much. I mean, it's better, but not much better, is it? 55-19, not much better. Fuck no. Yeah, that was the main event though. You're probably right there, Mario. How you doing, man? I'm fucking bored out of my brain. Oh my God. Long kick. Oh, Dacos, he's taken 2 contested marks in the game. Who wants a late goal, Collingwood say. He blasts it long. Myercheck was pushed. And he'll get the free, Brody Myercheck. Oh my God. I don't care where Peter Dacos is sitting. Fuck off. Holy shit. Oh, shut. I get it, right? Like, I don't mind Nick Dacos, but fuck me. Oh. Myercheck, they haven't kicked the goal in this final term, Collingwood, but Myercheck changes that. Just blow the siren. We don't need the last 3 seconds of this fucking debacle. It was just my teeth were really sore and I couldn't talk. Yeah, that was all I had there, Mario. I'm all good now. Although I'm pretty depressed after that. That was fucking terrible. Fucking hell. Well, game over. Carlton got flogged. I actually thought I didn't think they were going to win, but I thought they'd show some fight. But that's 3 weeks in a row now. They've just been fucking smashed. Oh, fuck me. Come on, Giants. Just put a big number on them. Looks like Finn Callahan's had a very good first half. All right, guys, we're going to end the stream there. I'm pretty tired. That drained me. That was fucking deplorable. I appreciate everyone who joined the stream tonight. I know a lot of people didn't watch, but let's be honest, it wasn't a good game. And yeah, I mean, in the last second half, I was pretty fucking bored. Sorry. Appreciate you coming in late there, Mario. Yeah, appreciate that. Your Giants look pretty good today. I think they'll win. Yeah, 36 points up. Yeah, I'm halfway through the third. Shouldn't have too many issues, I would say. I think they got that one pretty well covered. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you guys watching. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like.